Hello everyone, and welcome back. We're going to be talking today about Surge and Divine Star and Hellfire Citadel, patch 6.2 for the Holy Priest. If you guys did not know who I am, my name is Jack. I am the writer on howtopriest.com. For the guides there, I am in Guild Incarnate, which are currently 12 of 13 Mythic in Hellfire Citadel. It is the 5th of September, so we're in the top 20 in US, so hopefully we'll get it down soon. Now, today I wanted to talk about how to properly use Surge and Divine Star and why you are using it, and how this playstyle has kind of evolved for Holy, as this was something that really wasn't done much in High Maul or Blackfire Foundry. There was maybe a fight or two, something like Butcher, where you could probably make use of it if you had the mana to afford it. So if you're a new Holy Priest, this may not always be the ideal talent combination for you, as you may not be able to afford the mana to spend on it, because you want to be able to prioritize your circle heals above taking Surge and Divine Star. You want to prioritize, keeping Palm on cooldown and things like that. And if you are very strapped for mana, this may not work out for you because you need a extremely large amount of procs per minute. I think it's like 9 or 10 procs a minute, which means you need to be getting about 2.5 procs every single time you throw your star. Otherwise, it'll be less mana efficient than Mindbender. So, keeping in mind this, for about 9 or 10 of the 13 encounters on Hellfire Citadel, you should prefer to take this talent combination. Now, this is more because of the burst damage that is in this instance. There's very, very heavy damage going out in very short periods of time. So you want to be able to have burst healing in order to deal with it. The clip here is Shadowlord Iskar on Mythic, where you are constantly throwing your star through the range clump as best as you can. Sometimes you get a little bit close enough to do it through melee, but often it's, you're locked in with it ranged. So making the most out of that and generating those procs and spending them on the correct targets is essential. It's essential for this fight. So one of the biggest things when you are using Surge and Divine Star is knowing the fight, knowing how your entire group is going to be moving around you. So for Tyrant Vallari, for fights like Kilrogg Deadeye and Shadowlord Iskar, you have very weird fights where you need to adjust. So Tyrant Vallari, you start off more spread out, and then by the end of the fight, everyone's very clumped together. So knowing when to throw your star and who you are throwing it at, you don't want to be throwing it at maybe like 1 or 2 range. You want to throw it at like the 6 or 8 people clumped up in melee. So with Kilrogg Deadeye, depending on how your group does it, many groups have range groups on the left and the right. The middle is clear, and they have a melee clump in the center. So in that instance, if you have the option of throwing the star through 3 or 4 ranged or 7 or 8 melee, it's pretty obvious. Run up to melee, throw your star, run up a little bit back, so you're not having any mechanics go towards them. Shadowlord Iskar is an awkward fight. If your ranged is not clumping properly and you can't corral them properly to help you out, it'd probably behoove you to go and move a little bit closer to melee. If your ranged group is very nice to you and they can stick together, then definitely be throwing it through range. Sometimes I'll often be throwing it, side to side, or I'll be throwing it closer to melee. It's all about the adjustment. It's all about keeping in mind where the biggest clump of players is in order to max out the value of your star. Surge and Divine Star are not exceptional talents on their own. I honestly wouldn't really advocate taking Divine Star on many fights by itself, but Divine Star is the activator for Surge. It makes the two exceptionally strong. It's extremely, extremely strong. It has extremely high synergy with each other, and it works wonders. It is our key to surviving the burst damage in this encounter. It's the key to our viability as a Holy Priest in this instance. So, with this, it's extremely important to not waste any procs, and it's important to know when you are going to generate them before you throw it. It takes a lot of practice. A lot of times when we have priority add healing in this encounter, so Befouled on Zakuun, Touch of Harm on Tyrant Vallari, the Phantasmal Wounds on Mythic Shadowlord Iskar, you have to be topping these targets off very quickly, otherwise it just snowballs and gets worse. So being able to time your Divine Star, throw it through a stack, and then instantly mouse over whichever target you're going to be healing and just boom, start flash pumping. Just go. And that'll let it so that your star can generate more procs because you won't be overloaded. It'll let your flash procs generate procs off themselves and it'll just provide priority healing. So often I wouldn't worry too much about wasting your serendipity. That's one thing I've had debates with other Holy Priests about, but I do not think it's that big of a deal to waste your serendipity. So say, for instance, you throw your star, you generate 2 quick serendipity stacks, and then on the way back, it generates another 2. So you have 2 stacks of serendipity and then 2 stacks of surge. Spend your surge stack, your 1 surge proc. You'll have 1 left in the bank, then do a heal onto the target if they still need healing, and then you can spend your other 1. So that'll of course be situational. Heal with serendipity stacks is the exact same cost as a flash heal, the exact same speed as a flash heal. Actually, it costs a little bit less. Sorry, heal does cost a little bit less with 2 stacks of serendipity than flash, but it's the exact same kind of healing. So if you're able to quickly spend that serendipity, otherwise, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Having your serendipity when you need it is extremely important, rather than running into burst damage and not being able to prayer of healing because you're like, oh no, I don't have the serendipity to do this. And you definitely do not want to be casting prayer of heal without serendipity. So, hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the clip. If y'all have any kind of questions or any ideas for any other videos, I'll try to be pumping them out a little bit quicker. But until then, enjoy the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see y'all next time.